Hey, it's me, WWE Hall of Famer from the LOD, Road Warrior Animal. And who are you?
Yeah, I gotta do this when? Now? I'm watching a match. What is now? Now is... Oh, now. Yeah, thanks. Hey, this is the Pharaoh from Monte and the Pharaoh. I just want to say thank you to our subscribers as we now have hit the 10,000 plateau. Thank you to all our subscribers out there. But I'm going to ask our subscribers to take the next step for us and become a full-fledged YouTube Monte and the Pharaoh member. Yes, that's right, folks. You can check it out. We've got 3 different levels. There's free shirts. There's free autographs. There's all sorts of perks for our members. There is nothing more we enjoy than giving you this program. And to do that, we need your support, and we appreciate your support. This is Jimmy Pharaoh, and don't forget to check out Monte and the Pharaoh every Thursday from Indie Music TV and on Cablevision here locally in New York. Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh. Later. Is that good enough for you? Can I finish this? Lesnar's killing him. I'm pissed. Yes.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte the Pharaoh, produced out of Indie Music TV from Ronkonkoma, Long Island. We're glad to have everybody here. It's a Thursday. Glad to see everybody on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Yeah. We love talking to you guys, and thank you for just joining us and our own little family.
Yeah.
And part of our own little family is the famous Mr. Matty Ice. Matty, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, as always.
He's back to that traditional line. For a while there. It was like,
like,
what up, what up?
Yeah, it was a lot. Well,
get mad.
It's a little late.
Back to
People
Mr.
are
Consistent.
tired. People are tired.
People are very tired.
To the right is the star of the show, Mr. Jimmy Pharaoh. Jimmy, how are you, man?
Tired. How are you?
You are quite the buzz on YouTube, man, and social media. People know the Pharaoh.
They do. Well, that's cool because I'm glad to know them too.
Really?
That works for me.
That's nice.
Would you be mine? Could you? See, we're back to last week with the guy with the sweater and the bad rug.
And the bad rug.
Ah, boy. Hey, anyway.
Speaking of bad rugs, ZZ Top bassist Dusty Hill died at 72. ZZ Top,
dude.
Dusty Hill passed away at his home in Houston, Texas. According to band members Frank Beard and Billy Gibbons, he reportedly died in his sleep. Pharaoh, thoughts on ZZ Top and, more importantly, Dusty Hill?
You know, oddly enough, I got a message from J.J. McGuire, composer of so many great WWF songs back in the day, about Dusty Hill passing away. I think J.J. was supposed to be meeting him shortly. Not good, of course. ZZ Top goes back to the days when we were... See, we're the MTV generation, folks at home. And ZZ Top was really at the epicenter during those days. You were just singing Legs before. Mm-hmm. Just a great, great band and a very, very solid bass player who, of course, doesn't get some of the attention that a Geddy Lee would get or a John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin.
Oh, so you consider him a top-level bass player?
Listen, he's the bass player for ZZ Top. I have no time to squabble about who can do a faster riff, if you understand what I'm getting at.
I gotcha.
I mean, he was in one of the all-time great Southern rock bands, and You know, I'm also one of those folks who subscribes to Ringo Starr being a damn great drummer. He's the drummer of the Beatles. Why? What have you done? That's what I usually say to people who, well, he wasn't Keith Moon. Of course he wasn't, because Keith Moon belonged in The Who, and that was his style, and it fit that band. And oddly enough, I found it hilarious that years later, Ringo's son, Zach, wound up drumming for The Who. So apparently Ringo Starr's got all sorts of talent in that genetics. You know what I mean? So Dusty Hill was a super solid bass player, and he kicked ass. And it's sad. He was only 72, but can I say this much, Mike? And I don't want to get too...
By the way, C.J. Duncan says, yes, back when MTV was actually music television.
Right. Yeah.
I have no idea what the hell it is now. And Mike Messier says out there, let's get it on. First of all, it says, good-looking Macho Man shirt.
Thank you, Mess.
And let's talk some AEW. But continue, please.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we will, Mess. I'm sure we will. I gotta say it's a little macabre, but I gotta say this though. Dusty Hill really took that's the way to go, bro. I want to go taking a nice nap. Maybe I'm having a good dream.
Yeah, that's interesting. Don't you want to say goodbye
sorry
to
to
people,
say that,
though,
but
dude? Don't you want to have that opportunity to say goodbye?
Man, I don't know if I could live with knowing that I'm going to go, and how am I going to compose myself when I'm saying goodbye to some of these people? Oh my God, I miss our wrestling matches when we were kids.
I want to give a shout out there. We got
that.
JG in the house, CJ Duncan, 802 Blues.
CJ, 802.
We got Mikey Fenster, Maria Davis, Mikey Messier.
Maria.
Jimmy Fingers says 1984 was such a resurgence for ZZ Top in the MTV era.
Yes.
The girls in the car were over.
Oh, man. Oh, they were so over. That guy at the gas station, what a lucky SOB he was, right? He went for quite the ride, right? Oh, man.
And he said it's out there. He says, what's up,
Eddie?
boys?
Eddie! What's up, Ed?
Joey M's out there. By the way, it was Joey M's birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, Big Joe.
Absolutely happy B-Day,
we got a
brother.
special shout-out for the owner of Indie Music TV.
Oh, yeah.
It's his birthday today.
Yeah.
So we want to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Chris.
Before we get on the wrestling thing, I wanted to discuss the U.S. Reigning gymnastics champion and sports superstar Simone Biles. I think I'm saying that right.
Okay.
Has dropped out of competition.
What?
In the 2000, right, in the Tokyo Olympics after suffering an injury during the vault event. The 24-year-old, widely considered to be the best gymnast of all time, performed just one vault attempt before bailing out.
Wow. That's not good. The best gymnast of all time?
I said this to my wife yesterday because I was thinking about CM Punk, the best in the world.
Yeah?
I said, when you call yourself the best in the world,
all time,
you shouldn't quit the Olympics.
Well, I'm not going to gauge whatever her injury
Or you shouldn't get into UFC fighting and get your ass kicked by nobodies.
Hey! Doofus
Mysterio
son-in-law.
Hall says, yo.
Doofus son-in-law. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Best in the world.
By the way, the mention on that shirt is Bob McCarthy from the Bob Show sent us this Roddy Piper shirt, a Macho Man shirt, a cup, a Roddy Piper DVD. So we want to say, Bob, thank you so much. And you know where Bob's from?
Where's he from?
Boston, Mass.
Wow,
See,
Boston has just been redeemed.
That's right.
Nice. Way to go, Bob. Cream of the crop. Yeah.
So one end you got beautiful Bob McCarthy. On the other end, you got Big Fat Well. You got all different things.
With sandals.
And
a goatee.
By the way, so the fans know out there that the studio got a call from the lawyer of John Sr.
What?
He's not happy about your wig jokes.
He's not.
No.
Is he going to send me one? You think I give a shit what he's unhappy about? Anyway.
Dank, what's up? Good to see you. All right.
He's unhappy. I'm unhappy.
Here's a serious note. I want to ask you this. U.S. Women's Olympic team kneels.
What?
They kneeled in protest.
What are they protesting over? Being in the Olympics? Representing their country? What's the problem?
I don't know.
They get to wake up every day and do whatever the hell they want.
The U.S. women's national soccer team joined other companies in taking a knee at the opening matches at Tokyo Olympics on Wednesday. The first demonstrations at the Games following updating guidance from the International Olympic Committee on the acceptable forms of protest.
Oh man, they're just so inspiring. I'm going to go home and take a dump. Next subject.
Dude, why does everything have to have something,
I don't know.
some agenda behind
I don't know.
it?
Why don't we just take something that's really meant to be sharing and the world enjoying sport? Let's just
like
be
competition,
miserable.
a thrill
Let's
of
make it
competition.
miserable. You got a problem with that? What's your problem having it miserable?
I have
Just get with the program, dude. Everything's negative. Everything's nasty. You got to bitch about everything. Okay? Are you with me? Just want to make sure, because when we go to the next games for the Jets this year, we got to be miserable and nasty. And well, you've already got them going 2-14, so you should understand the concept.
I want peace and love. Okay?
You want peace and love?
Peace and love.
So
for
does Ringo
everybody.
Starr. How's that working out?
There you go.
All right. What do we got? What else?
All right, man. So
On the platform here.
looks like Dark Side of the Ring
What?
really brought attention to Nick Gage.
Yeah.
I didn't really know anything about Nick Gage.
Okay.
I saw him on the David Arquette documentary. You cannot kill David Arquette.
All right. Too bad.
And
I mean, go
again,
on.
like I'm not an expert. I don't know all the wrestling organizations. I don't know all the wrestlers. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
supposed to.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Uh,
We do have a broadcast on professional wrestling, so maybe I should do a little better with that. What do you
Oh,
think?
really? Okay. So, I'll be sending you those tapes from Memphis, and you can watch the guy who wrestles in a paper bag. He's really awesome,
So,
Versus Comac Ken, who's from Comac. You're going to love it. It's great.
In the Arquette
I've seen
documentary,
that.
he ends up, I think he wrestles Cage. I said Cage. It was a Gage, right?
Right, Gage.
Gage.
Yeah.
In like a backyard wrestling match, and he gets kind of like bladed by the light bulb or whatever. And
Okay.
If anyone knows,
Was it fluorescent or incandescent?
I don't know, but
I'm just curious.
Arquette had a heart attack, so he's on blood thinners, so it got a little rough.
What is he doing?
And he was pretty angry over it. But anyway, I thought
Should be angry at himself, blood thinners in wrestling. What are you doing?
Well, you gotta
I
say
got
the
a heart
guy-
condition. Hey, go in there and do that.
Guy loves wrestling.
Okay, does the guy love dying? Because he's pushing the envelope. Wait a minute, I push the envelope every day. I guess I can't say shit.
Maybe.
All right, what else you got?
So I saw the Dark
Oy.
Side of the Ring with Gage, right? Mm-hmm. And
he intrigues you in some way. There's no doubt about it. But go
he
on.
does intrigue me.
He
So
intrigues
I
you.
felt compelled to watch Gage against Cardona.
Right, Zack Ryder.
Zack
Yeah.
Ryder.
That's going to be Zack Ryder forever. But that's
And
okay.
it was actually,
Although I like his name more now.
it was actually a pretty good match.
Okay.
By the way, Rick B says the whale sends his regards.
Gee,
What's
thanks, Rick.
What's this? The most boring talk show on earth?
Coming from the most boring troll.
Wow.
Rick B. Later. Next. What else you got?
So
That's like a fart in the wind
Thoughts on
when he
Gage?
speaks.
you know more about this stuff than I do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Nick Gage?
Well, Nick Gage, again, I started to keep track of him several years back. I originally was a Combat Zone fan, so, I mean, not very big, though. I mean, I was somewhat interested in that deathmatch style. My take on Nick Gage is, man, he's come a long way because, number one, we're talking about him and being in an AW. He's in AW now, so he's really come a long way. But I think there's some holes in his game, and I'm not so sure that, he's as... The fans seem to love him. How big do you think his fan base is, by the way? I'm just curious.
I
What were the ratings during his match with Jericho?
I haven't looked him up yet.
interested.
I will
know?
tell you this, that it was must-see TV
Okay.
wrestling for me last night because I wanted... Coming off the Cardona match, which I found, very, like I said,
Yeah,
it
you
was
were into
actually
it.
good.
You were into it.
Now, when I mean good, I want to make this clear.
Okay.
What made it good were the fans.
Right.
I mean, Cardona, it wasn't a good match. Like, it was very orchestrated.
Okay.
All right? It wasn't...
Pro wrestling can be that way.
You could see the difference between... and we'll talk about the Jericho thing, but you could see the difference between Gage
And
compared
Cardona.
to Cardona.
Well,
There's a huge difference.
Cardona's
there's a pro and then there's an amateur.
Cardona's a pretty damn good wrestler. That's for sure. So, I got what you're saying. You're seeing the final chiseled, top shelf product.
Yes.
Fighting the indie stud, but stud of hardcore, stud of deathmatch, stud of punching, kicking, biting, scratching. By the way, nasty. I will give him this. Man, oh man, that pile driver he gave to Jericho, Seriously, dude, it's like straight down, and I got to give Jericho props. He's completely psychotic. What is he doing at this age doing this?
Jimmy
by the way?
Finger says Gage is a one-off for AEW.
I can see that.
More than
I can,
likely,
I
I
can
agree.
see that, and as I talked to you before, one thing that is intriguing about him is his jaw structure. He reminds me of one of the guys from Sons of Anarchy, Clay. So he's got the look.
Right.
I don't know if he's big enough, bro. I mean,
By the way, Jimmy Fingers.
does that matter much?
Good
I don't know.
point. Did you ever see heat like that with Cardona winning the belt? Boy, they were just throwing crap at that. It's very entertaining.
I got to admit, too, and what did I say to you when I heard about the end result of this match? I said Zack Ryder beats him. I mean, I can't get over that. I think that's a horrible booking decision, and the fans should be throwing shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the hell? I don't get that. And I don't see how that could help him going into his match with Jericho. He just lost to Zack Ryder. I think that's ridiculous. I mean, what's the chance does he... I mean, they put on a great show, but you got to know Jericho.
Well, hold on. Now you're talking the Jericho match, right?
I'm talking Painmaker.
All right.
That's who I'm... Chris Jericho, Painmaker.
Jericho did all he could
Yeah.
to carry that match.
Well, Jericho's one
I
of the
felt like
greatest
they were
ever.
actually doing Gage a favor. Like, you know what? You've had a rough life.
Dude, it's a huge rub.
I'm going to help
It
you.
is. Hey, it's a huge rub.
But if that match was in the WWE,
oh, no, never would
fans would have tore
Of course.
it apart.
Well, number one, it never would have occurred in the WWE. And number two, WWE fans the majority of WWE fans are not looking for that kind of match. They're just not. That's a specialty match, and that's something that some AEW fans would be into. I'm not particularly into it, okay? I grew tired of it. What happened for me is after the ECW time period and Foley's greatness and stuff, Combat Zone I became a little interested in. I purchased a couple of their pay-per-views. I checked it out, and within 2 months or 3 months, I was sick of it. It was just the same thing every time. I don't normally tune in to watch a guy with a cheese grater or a toaster just destroy somebody. So that, to me, is not what I look for in wrestling. What Foley would do on the card was not that. It's hard for me to explain, but I think the fans at home, I think they do know the difference between a death match and a hardcore match. And there is differences,
The other problem I had with it was, look, AEW, they're getting my attention now.
Sure.
All right? Everybody knows I'm
Oh, you know
WWE
they've got
guy.
mine.
I know they got yours.
You know why, too.
I love this whole setup with Jericho.
Right.
He has to go through this gauntlet to meet MJF, which is
great.
it's fantastic.
Because MJF is so arrogant. I love the
idea that they just bring in one-offs to wrestle him. I think that's great.
That's cool.
But I will tell you, and this is my belief, the cream will rise to the top because they're gimmicking their way out of it.
Okay.
They're doing lots and lots and lots of gimmicks.
Well, let's see what
And
the
again,
fans want.
it was-
I mean, if this is what they want.
Let me put it this way. I had
So
to
be
watch
it,
Gage against Jericho.
Uh-huh.
Had to watch it.
Sure.
If Gage was wrestling
I watched
somebody
it.
else next week, I wouldn't watch it.
I totally get it. I completely understand that.
You could put him up against Moxley. I wouldn't have.
I'm actually interested. I'm
I
interested
stopped
in that.
watching Married at First Sight to go watch Gage against Jericho.
Wait a minute. You stopped watching what?
Married at First Sight. Great
What
show.
the hell is that?
It's an awesome show, man.
What?
People don't know each other. They get married and they see if they can make it.
What a horrible idea. Who's the masochist who came up with that?
It's fantastic.
What's the divorce rate on that show? 99.9?
Pretty close.
That's ridiculous. Hey, I love you. 10 minutes
But
later,
some
you
people
suck.
fall in love, though.
What happened? They made them watch a terrible podcast from Boston? They get divorced like in the first episode?
That's not right.
What happened? Rick B wrote in while they're consummating their marriage like it's boring or something? I mean, what did they...
Well, here's a band that isn't boring. We want to thank the band Wisteria Hall, who sings the theme song for Monte and the Pharaoh.
Ta-da!
Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs,
Bartman!
sings such great songs as "In My Dreams," "This Is My Life." Not far, you got me flustered. Not far behind, "Here Comes the Rain." You can find their music on the Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Hear them on Spotify. Apple Tunes and Reverb Nation. If you didn't know it, you are watching Monte and the Pharaoh, Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. You can catch Monte and the Pharaoh on the Monte and the Pharaoh YouTube page, the Monte and the Pharaoh Facebook Live page. Hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch TV. Channel 115 every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30, and for early risers, 6 a.m. on Saturday to 6:30. And on Channel 20 on Friday, that's in the morning, 2 a.m. to 2:30. It was just reported to me, and we put it on the little banner.
What?
That over 80,000 viewers are watching our show weekly on New York cable. Not
Wow.
too bad for
Sweet.
this show that...
This little dog and pony show?
This little dog and pony show. Again, we want to thank all the sponsors and the people who support us. You guys mean the world to us. We'll be right back after the sponsor message with Loyalty Means Nothing unless it has its heart, the absolute principle.
See you in a sec. The Monte and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Do you treat your dog as part of the family? Well, so do we. So why not celebrate your pup's birthday with the ultimate party box? Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Party Pup Info, and let us make your pup's party or any celebration perfection.
In the mood for a freshly roasted cup of coffee? www.offtherailscoffeeroasters.com. All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte and the Pharaoh, produced out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. So let's do this, bro.
Okay. What are we doing? I should be careful when I agree to do
Bryan
this.
Danielson, CM Punk.
Yeah?
We know they're AEW bound, right?
Yeah?
Do either of these gentlemen have any kind of loyalty to Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr.? I want to open up with Daniel Bryan first. I want your opinion on this. Does Daniel Bryan owe more respect to Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr.?
Wow, what a tricky question. I do believe that unless there was... This is how I feel about the Daniel Bryan situation, but if I was Daniel Bryan, I obviously can't be, and I don't know what he went through or what the dynamics were with him and Vince when they parted, but this is how I feel. If this had been me and this had been my career that Daniel Bryan has experienced in Vince's company, I would, unless there was a fight of some kind, an F-bomb or some sort of argument with Vince directly, this doesn't mean Kevin Dunn or whoever's there currently behind the scenes doing whatever, unless I directly had had a fight with Vince McMahon, I would not be leaving Vince McMahon's company. I became a legend in Vince McMahon's company, an absolute legend. And I don't want to hear about how great his matches were in Ring of Honor. I know they were. I watched them. I was there with the rest of you. I've got that part. But yes, on ESPN with like teams from like the Chicago White Sox, all these teams are doing this. Everybody's doing this. My friends, the lady I was with during all those years wanted a Daniel Bryan shirt. Are you kidding me? This guy became a household name. So unless there was a fight with Vince directly where we completely disagreed, I'm like, screw you, and he's like, screw you. I ain't going anywhere. That's my home. That's where I finally made it, and I could have a beautiful house. I mean, didn't he? Wait a minute. Wasn't his wife featured on their own show? How many different ways has Vince McMahon put money in that guy's pocket? I guess it doesn't matter to anybody. I guess it just doesn't matter, and that's fine. That's fine.
Says Pharaoh, you're on fire.
I
Keep going.
just feel like if it was me, and that's all I'm saying, and none of you at home know who Vince McMahon is. Don't hand me that garbage, okay? None of us know who he is. All I know is that in real life, we don't know him. But if I did know him, and I had the career that I had, that Vince booked me through, and, but he didn't want to make him champion. He did! In the main event at WrestleMania. I don't want to hear about how he didn't want to do it. He did! He did! Okay? He did! So I guess that's basically it. And I know Daniel Bryan is one of the greats in the ring, and he's going to probably kill it in AEW, and I wish him nothing but luck, and it's his business, but you asked me. And that's my take on it. If I was Daniel Bryan, the way I am, I wouldn't have gone anywhere unless there was a serious fight privately with Vince McMahon over this.
Here's part of my problem, right? So from what I understand, again, I'm not an insider, but what I understand is that Daniel Bryan said he wanted to spend more time with his family and yada, yada, yada.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then you show up on, now you're going to be on AEW?
Well, I don't know what his schedule is going to be in AEW, so I can't say what his schedule is going to be. But I will say this much, though. It goes back to what I said to you. When we were first talking about the idea of Daniel Bryan leaving, I don't think there would have been anything wrong with giving him a little time off if he wants it. We were tired of him, right? We were burnt out on him. I think the writers were burnt out.
Tim Dum Dum Dugan says Pharaoh's being a schmuck. Vince should do it.
Name calling.
Vince would do it too. That's not mean. That's not being mean.
That's mean.
Vince
Even though
would
I am
do
a
it
schmuck.
to him. He would
That's
do
a
it to
whole
Vince
other
would do
story.
it to you. Jimmy Fingers says Daniel Bryan gave Vince everything he had. Vince should be thanking him. DB just wants more creative freedom and fresh new matches.
Nothing wrong with any of that. Again, I'm not. That's, by the way, that's great. What he just wrote. Okay, I totally get that.
Right.
All right.
But what about the loyalty, Jimmy?
I don't. Again, like I said, for me, I'd be staying.
He made Daniel Bryan a millionaire.
Oh yeah, he
did.
Yes, he did.
He made him a millionaire.
Yes, he did. He did.
So that's great. Bryan gave him everything he had.
He better.
He gave him, and Vince also gave him $3.1 million a year.
He paid him well. He did.
So where's the loyalty?
I don't know.
On the other hand, John Senior Jr.
Right.
would never
do
that to Vince McMahon.
Look, and the difference is, and I do bouncing off the comments there. The difference is that John Cena does not adore mat wrestling and want to do it all the time the way Daniel Bryan does. Daniel Bryan eats, lives, sleeps, breathes it. This is his thing.
So we think. So we think.
This is true too. I mean, that's the impression Daniel Bryan gives me.
So do you think Daniel Bryan on Thanksgiving dinner is going to have to face John Laurinaitis and have an issue there, or
I don't know.
Do you think he has a problem in the bedroom with Brie? I mean, seriously.
Holy shit! I didn't think about that kind of thing.
Hey, Brie has to make a living too,
That's
right?
Very interesting. Yeah, right. But you know what, though? I mean,
I want to wrestle in Japan. That's my major priority.
Wait a minute. What's wrong with wrestling in Japan? I love that stuff.
I don't know. Having sex with Brie Bella on a regular basis, or going to Japan, I'd stay in the WWE. That's just me personally.
Say Mike wouldn't be over there.
That's right. I don't care what kind of money you're giving me, Tony Khan.
That's one way of putting it. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Again,
it's great that he loves his craft. Congratulations.
He does.
Let's not forget about this. Hold on. Let me just add this little caveat for all these pro Daniel Bryan, go fuck Vince McMahon comments.
That's,
all right?
I'm not
When he broke his neck, because he gave it all, Vince took care of him.
Of course he did.
Right?
Of course he did. Daniel Bryan's
always years.
Daniel Bryan's always been valuable to Vince. I don't want to hear about the wham treatment. Okay, cut the shit.
How about some loyalty? That's what I want.
Again, it depends on the person. Obviously, it really depends on the person.
All right, we'll be back after this commercial break where we'll cover the other half, and I would think the more important half of this transition.
What, the best in the world?
The best in the world who lost to two
Here he goes again with the MMA.
MMA fighters. We'll be right back.
All right. Go to sleep. See you in a sec.
Hi, it's Josh from Under the Table Hot Sauce. I'm here with my friend, the star of the show, Jimmy Pharaoh.
Yeah, what's up, JB?
Nah, nothing.
It's been a hot summer, and for all your barbecue needs, you can go to UnderTheTableHotSauce.com. 13 unique flavors to choose from, created and bottled in a Long Island kitchen. UnderTheTableHotSauce.com. Let's go chow, JB.
Let's do it.
All the flavor, twice the burn. M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Sport and non-sport cards, wrestling items, autographed items. We buy, sell, and trade. M&J Video Games and Collectibles, located at 1049 Queen Street, Southington, Connecticut. Call us at 1-860-479-9223 or 860-93-GAMES. M&J Video Games and Collectibles.
All right, welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monte and Pharaoh, only seen here out of Indie Music TV. So, Daniel Bryan on his way and the other half of this is CM Punk,
Oh, wow.
one of your top guys.
Yep, one of my absolute favorites.
Where's his loyalty to Vince McMahon?
Nah, screw that. This is where you and I will completely differentiate. CM Punk owes Vince McMahon at this point absolutely nothing. CM Punk was denied the main event at WrestleMania after holding the title for 434 days. The ratings have never been anywhere as hot as what CM Punk did for wrestling when he was doing it. As far as the recent years, CM Punk is probably, through osmosis, the reason why we have AEW today, the reason why we have so many people saying, fuck you, Vince McMahon, because the Pharaoh does understand, okay?
By the way, GJ says, and this is a good one, one botch at AEW is all it takes. So you take these old guys and you have one botch, that's game. But go ahead.
All it takes
CM
for who,
Punk.
though? I mean, like what, Matt Hardy or Christian Cage, or if like CM Punk botches?
well,
Well, we'll see about that. Something tells me CM Punk won't give us a Goldberg Undertaker moment, so I'm not too worried about that. Am I a mark for CM Punk? Fuck yeah. Yes, I am, and I always have been a mark for CM Punk.
You're a mark for CM Punk.
I love
Which,
CM
on the
Punk.
other hand, I'm not a big
You
fan.
can't stand CM
Can't stand
Punk,
him.
but you also know.
So
what
here's
but
another.
just like me with you with Cena, and it's all like the opposite situation. You love Cena, I can't stand Cena. We both recognize
Absolutely.
the star value of these guys.
But here's my problem with Punk.
Go ahead.
So we remember when Punk was crying his eyes out when they decided to go with that Cena Rock WrestleMania. Then they took the belt away. When the Rock
They
beats him,
had
right?
had two of them, but
Yeah,
go
but
on.
when he beat CM Punk for the title,
Right.
and CM Punk was actually angry over it. These are facts, right? Because he felt like you're taking this away from me. You let this
Right.
part-time guy.
Right, here
Well,
comes
Punk's
Captain.
now
Here
good-
comes Captain Cameo. Go on.
So here comes CM Punk to AEW,
Right.
where he's going to take all the shine off of all these young.
Well,
and
you know what?
up
You know
and
why?
coming guys.
You know why? Because it's his fucking turn now. That's why.
Oh, so now it's okay.
Oh, damn straight it is. Damn
Wow.
skippy it is. It's his fucking turn, and he's fucking earned it. You know, despite losing to Tom Spaghetti and Joe Jackoff in MMA, you know, which personally, I don't give a shit about. I could care less. Bring the best of the world back now. Right now. And I warned you, Vince, not to do this. I warned you not to do this. This is going to screw you up, Vince. This is a mistake, okay? How much it hurts in the end, we will see. But you know it, and I know it. We will both be tuned in for CM Punk when he returns. And if he returns at Arthur Ashe Stadium, because you've been talking to me about that place, damn, oh damn. Damn, oh damn. The best of the world is back.
Todd Becraft says Daniel found his gear in a garbage bag in the front porch in the morning, so he signed with AEW.
That's hilarious. That's great. See, that's what we're looking for from the audience. That's hilarious. That's
Tim
fantastic.
Dum Dum Dugan says,
Oh, no.
per Vince, we don't give guarantees, we give opportunities. No loyalty is needed for earning your way. It's
Interesting.
business. It's a
He's
good
not
comment.
a dum-dum. Why do you call yourself dum-dum,
Loose
bro?
cannon.
don't get
I
it.
agree with Pharaoh. Who cares about his MMA career?
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't
Jimmy,
give a
preach, Jimmy P.
I'm trying, man.
Listen, I'm worried about
I'm
AEW. WWE's in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, I'm not. Look,
I don't
we've
get
always
this
been realists.
WCW. Well, again, I was much younger then, so WCW coming aboard, I was kind of into it.
I
And then
was.
all of a sudden, when it became a serious threat, I went
Right.
pro WWE.
Right.
I had to
Right.
back away.
You know what though? They self-imploded themselves though. They were doing great. They were doing fine, and then they all became about themselves. And the NWO had 87 members. We all know the history. All the ridiculous salaries. Ridiculous salaries?
Well, let's talk about this first.
Okay.
AEW
Try to
Grand
segue
Slam
you.
out. I know you did.
And it was really good
It was
too, by
very
the
good.
way. But what do you got instead?
Outselling WWE at Madison Square Garden.
That's insane, but I'm amazed to
So,
hear that. But
I will tell you
that's
this.
cool,
I went
fine.
and looked, and I'm like, yeah, it's Arthur Ashe Stadium. They probably only get 10,000 in it.
No, that's where the U.S. Open is held.
23,771 fans, and
Sweet.
I don't even know if that's including floor seats.
Mike, I was excited when I heard they were having the event there. I was.
So the WWE
I was
struggling
gonna
to sell
ask you
out.
if we could go, but I figured you'd smack me. So,
No, I would have went.
what can we do to get tickets now?
You ain't getting tickets.
Hey
now.
guys,
Sold out.
Monte and the Pharaoh need a pair of tickets. Please send them too.
I need some press passes, so I can tell you how much
Don't
you
get
suck.
greedy. We'll just
So I
take
can tell you how much you
Oh
suck.
my God! Could you imagine me in the back with Brandy Rhodes? You're freaking horrible. You freaking sponge. I would. Oh my God, Cody would kill me. It wouldn't be good. Okay.
Is AEW becoming a legitimate threat
Yes.
to the WWE universe?
Sure. What was the old thing that we've been saying right from the beginning? If they can get a mill and work on that mill, because Vince has only got 1.8 this week on Raw. I mean, of course they're in the game now. Sure, they're in the game. Is it a flattering reflection of what's going on in wrestling the way it used to be? No. These numbers are putrid compared to the days
I'm not going to call them putrid, man.
Compared to the days of the Attitude Era? Of course they are.
AEW crossed over 1 million
Right.
for yesterday.
Right, nice. Fine. That's cool. Look, that program has Chris Jericho, and that program's now going to have CM Punk. Having Daniel Bryan is an absolutely great move for them. You know, I know you don't think it's such a big deal. I think it's a huge deal, you know. And let's face it, Juventud Guerrero's wrestling Chris Jericho next week, right? Juventud Guerrero.
Can this...
Hoovy! That's cool.
Can Tony Khan's, because I'm going to call him the booker.
Okay.
Is Tony Khan's way of booking sustainable?
Well, you know, that's a tricky question. Some storylines in AEW, and this is going to sound familiar, some storylines in AEW are great. A lot of the storylines in AEW aren't even storylines. There aren't any storylines for a lot of these wrestlers. They just do their thing and whatever. It's, to me, the percentage is almost even like with WWE. There are some great matches. There are some decent storylines. The Tribal Chief with Roman Reigns has been fantastic. And then there's a lot of
By the way, I want to just
So
tell
it
the
really-
people out there, not to get off subject,
Yeah.
but they're talking about Boston Wrestling.
What?
Tony
Why?
Atlas will be live in studio August 14th at 5 p.m., and we're specifically going to talk about Dan Marotti and Boston Wrestling.
Interesting, because I think Tony might have a few things to say about Rick B, too.
He does.
Yeah,
so
very good.
Tune in there. We'll be announcing that
Try not to
officially.
get too bored during that show, Rick, when Tony's saying things. Try not to get too
But
bored.
that will be specific to start clearing up the air. We already heard what Marty had to say, and then Tony had called in, but now he will be in studio to specifically speak about everything that went on.
very
And then we could see if who's lying, who's not, whatever. But back to AEW.
Very interesting. Okay, all right. Well, again, I mean, they are a threat. I do believe that the recent signings have been absolutely fantastic. I mean, how can you not feel good about that if you're an AEW fan? You've got to be excited beyond belief. You know? You got to be excited beyond belief. How could you not be?
I can't imagine how crazy that crowd, I think they're doing Rampage on Friday night too, right? So they're basically putting a challenge up against SmackDown now too. The lines are really being drawn in the sand.
And I'll tell you what, as you're saying these things to me, you know what I'm thinking of? I have the image of Cody with the sledgehammer destroying Triple H's chair.
You said something to me earlier.
Wow, man. This is getting real.
You said something to me earlier.
I'm happy.
Too.
That's
Your bigger
great.
concern is who's going to run the ship after seniors, juniors gone.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've got huge issues over this one. Not to bore people, but I'll make it quick. Vince McMahon currently is reminding me a little bit of what happened with George Steinbrenner later in his life, but George knew to delegate and step back, and he did, and he was still involved, and he still made some key decisions, but the Yankees became a dynasty again when he did step back and delegate. I don't think that Vince is doing much of that now, especially when it comes to Raw, for sure. And I'm very worried about what happens when he passes as far as the company goes, because I do not like what Stephanie McMahon is doing. I don't think that Stephanie McMahon has a clue sometimes what the traditional fan or what a new even wrestling fan would want to see. She concerns me. She's doing things that behind the scenes that just make no sense, bringing in writers who don't know even the names of the people they're supposed to be writing for. What are you doing? And it bothers me too, because I do trust Triple H. I do. And I would love to have Triple H run the entire thing when Vince, God forbid, eventually does pass away. And I will be quite sad, because I grew up watching Vince as an announcer. I've known Vince through the TV since I was a small child, so that's going to really hurt. But Triple H, I do trust, and I think he's done a great job with NXT, and I do think he knows what's best for wrestling. I do. But I'm afraid that Stephanie's the one who where's the turnbuckles in this? Where's the turnbuckles in this family? I'm trying to keep it clean.
That's pretty funny.
You know what I mean?
That's
She's the
pretty
one who rings the bell. You know what I mean? So the bottom line is that I'm very concerned, very, and Shane doesn't seem to give a rat's ass, and that's really depressing. So. You know, the folks who hate Vince McMahon, and hey, you might be getting your day. And I'll be the first one to say it if it does happen, okay? You know, it is what it is. But I still won't go, okay, it's over, because once upon a time it was over, too. When the WCW had almost, 2 straight years of the better ratings, and Vince was the one looking up. We know how that turned out. But this is a little different, because Vince is an old man now. Who's going to punch back up and take them over them if, God forbid, they do slip beneath them?
If you were to discuss both rosters, present day, right now,
yeah,
who's got the better roster?
That's a great question. I can answer it this way. It's tough because Raw and SmackDown are distinctively different from each other. That's a hard question to answer. I prefer AEW over Raw. I do. I am not happy with Raw.
I'm not talking about Raw, SmackDown as separate brands.
Well, you kind of have to.
You got to put them all
now.
together. NXT, Raw, and SmackDown.
Oh, now you're putting together
roster.
3 shows versus 1, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But,
I bet if you look at the lineup. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
you might be in trouble here.
What do you mean? I was born in trouble.
Loose Cannon says, CJ says, where's the turnbuckles in this family? That needs to be a shirt. Dude, I really think maybe that should be. Jimmy Finger says WWE has a better roster, hands down.
Sure, if you start looking at all the talent, absolutely. It's a plethora. But again, listen, this is the way it works for me. I think SmackDown is still the best show in wrestling.
Better than NXT.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the one I want to see.
Are you
the most.
upset with the way the main roster is treating NXT talent?
I can't stand what's happening with Keith Lee, if that's what you're asking me. What the hell are they doing to Keith Lee? What did you do to him? Are you kidding me? Big, athletic, charming. Yeah, I'm using that word. Keith Lee is a charming dude. He's a likable guy, and he's got charisma, and I think he would have been great. And they are ruining him, and I am pissed.
Albister Figueroa says, I think I turned right when I should have turned left. This ain't the Boston Whales retired wrestlers charity show, is it? No, it's not.
That's the Boston Whales.
Let me ask you something. Should Vince McMahon Jr. have faith in the NXT roster when they can only draw 600,000 viewers a show?
Yeah, I would. Why not? I mean, after all, you've said it 1,000 times. NXT is kind of like I don't consider them the minor leagues the way, a smaller independent company is. But NXT is considered the third of the tiers. SmackDown seems to be the flagship show right now. You got SmackDown, Raw, and NXT. I like NXT. I've always felt that it's a good product. I think that Triple H should have more say in what happens in the other shows. I've always enjoyed the writing in NXT, and I think NXT is a good product. It's always been a good product.
This is the way I'm starting.
It's been better at times.
But this is the way I'm starting to see it.
But it's good.
I think there's a core bunch of fans like ourselves who grew up on wrestling with these great vignettes and these great mic work and
grew
these
up with Savage and Hogan,
and all this type of stuff. Even before that, but
of course.
Triple H is trying to rebuild that type of thing, and I think Vince has tried to get away from that and been more of an entertainment product.
Yep.
So, but Vince allowed NXT, I'm sure Triple H says, let's go this way with it. Mm-hmm. And Vince is now saying, guess what? Your way doesn't work.
I can't agree with him on this. I do believe that Vince should give it a shot at letting Triple H book the big shows and let it go for a while. And in other words, what I'm trying to say is that the positive things that the AEW fans look for in their wrestling, I am very sure that WWE could do that with the talent they have. Like one of our viewers wrote in, so accurately, what a roster the WWE has. We could play their game without changing our overall brand feel, and we could show them. But we ain't doing that. And that's because of Vince. That's because we have to look at Lily! If I say Lily one more time. I don't care about Lily. She's stupid. Bring back Alexa. Take that stupid stuff off and let her wrestle. My glasses are fogging up. I'm so pissed off. What are we doing that for? The Vince is the humor used to be clever in the Attitude Era. The humor was off the charts, hilarious. I'll take it from here, nurse. How's your leg, Vince? Ah! That stuff was fantastic. Now we got Lily.
Well,
I can't.
With that, we're going to look
What?
at both rosters and
Okay.
see if they're worth it after this commercial break. And
We
by
are?
the way,
Ooh,
I
we
like Lily.
I can't take it. I can't.
Lily's hot.
There's only one Lily for me, and that's Lily Munster. Oh, Lily! We'll be right back. And Nitro's Garage for all your automotive needs. Call 646-675-2349. That's 646-675-2349. For all your automotive needs, Nitro's Garage. Ask for Jack. Jeff Quest, graphics design, custom vinyl lettering, and all your art and video needs. 516-317-8204. That's for Jeff Quest, graphic design. And APB, American Protection Bureau, voted #1 best on Long Island for all your security needs. Call 631-390-9050. That's 631-390-9050. APB.
Welcome back to Long Island's #1 pro wrestler broadcast, Monte and Pharaoh, produced out of Indie Music TV, straight out of Ronkonkoma, Long Island. Boys, it's been a real fun show. We've covered a lot of subjects. Guys, you guys watch out there. Your comments are hilarious. Loose cannon. Stephanie is still very hot, but she's lost it in creative.
She
Doesn't
sucks.
matter. She's still very hot.
This is true.
ROCN says Lillian Garcia is my Lily.
There you go.
Absolutely, sir.
Amen. Absolutely.
CJ Duncan, the Munsters, with a bit. Thank you, sir, so much. What we got here? What do we got here? We got 802. Vince still think a burnout acts like Spicoli on Fast Time. That's pretty funny, man.
Matt
802.
Riddle!
That's
Bro.
so funny. A mess says when Pharaoh gets worked up, he sounds like the comedian Gilbert Godfrey. That's for sure.
Wow, that's interesting. I never thought of that.
Pharaoh is the most entertaining.
Stop. You know, it's funny
Person
too.
I know.
By the way, guys, I'm very flattered at some of these comparisons, but I promise you, like some of the people I've been compared to, I don't even watch. I don't even. Who's like Audie? Like Audie from Howard? I never.
By the way, Tim Dum Dum Dugan says Kevin Nash is vying for the Herman Munster role in the Rob Zombie. He is. That's actually factual.
I don't think Kevin Nash can handle the suit.
He was actually a better actor than he is a wrestler. You ever see him in the Punisher as the Russian guy?
Yeah.
All right, so Pharaoh, I'm going to hit you and the fans out
gonna
there
hit
with
me?
some of
Oh,
these
great.
salaries. Let's see if they're worth it.
Wait a minute, hold on. Did these salaries come from your favorite accountant and mine, Arthur?
Yes, they do.
Oi.
Arthur called me on the phone.
Did he?
He said, Monty, I got a good gimmick for you to run on the show next week. I said,
Okay.
what's that, Arthur? He goes, I'm going to do the investigation and tell you what each of these guys make and tell me, you ask the Pharaoh if they're worth it. And I'm going to start from 10 going to 1. We're going to open up with the AEW roster, okay?
Okay, but what did Arthur want, though, like, for doing this? Did you get him, like, did you take him out for bagels and lox at least?
A little some bagels and lox.
Good man. Because Arthur's a good guy. All right, what do we got now?
Pack, $2 million a year.
Neville makes $2 million a year?
According to Arthur.
Neville never even gets real pushes in AEW, like, in my opinion. Not real ones. I'm still waiting for the guy to win a title that... $2 million? Wow.
I would say that's a no.
That's a no. That's like, not for what they've been
The
using
Young
them for.
Bucks, $2 million.
Okay, can
That's
I be
$1 million apiece.
Can I be honest?
Go ahead.
They're worth more.
What?
To AEW,
What?
to AEW, the Young Bucks are worth more.
Okay,
Yes.
again, let's not forget.
Wait a minute. All I'm saying is stay with me in principle.
Right.
Pac makes as much as the Young Bucks?
Hold on, though.
Ridiculous.
Let's understand
Go on.
that these wrestlers we're naming, some of them work in the office also, which takes a separate salary from what we're reporting here on today's
so how
show.
much do you think the Young Bucks do make?
Arthur did not supply me with that.
What do you
is
gotta-
what they make to wrestle.
So it's more than bagels and logs to get that information. Wow, Arthur
The
drives a
Lucha
hard
Brothers, $2 million a year.
No, I can't go with that, but I would probably take good care of Pentagon. I know that there's a lot of Phoenix fans, and I understand it. I get it. He's a great wrestler, but Pentagon, I think, is worth some cash. No, I would not pay. Personally, no, I would not pay $2 million for them.
Nyla Rose.
No, don't even. Next.
$2 million
Dude, I
a year.
would-
$2 million a year.
I wouldn't give her $2.
And by the way, fans out there,
But that's
just so I
me.
could say this to you, Charlotte
me.
Flair makes 1.5.
Dude, someone is going to wind
1.5. I
Someone-
think. Let me make sure of that.
So, someone in AEW is going to wind up
See,
declaring,
now Arthur made a mistake. He put Dusty Rhodes. I think he meant Cody Rhodes.
Wait a
No,
minute.
I think he meant Dustin Rhodes. I'm sorry.
Has Arthur been hitting the
I don't
Manischewitz
know.
again?
Dustin Rhodes, $2
Oy.
million a year.
Nah, not worth it at all. Nah, it's a waste of money. That's a complete throw.
Brandy Rhodes, $2 million a
Dude,
year.
you have to get me started. I'd rather give Lily $2 million a year. She is the biggest waste of space ever. Can't talk, can't wrestle. Oh, she looks good. Maybe in your opinion, I think that is a complete cash dump. Dump. $2
Cody
million.
Rhodes, $3 million a year.
Cody, $3 million.
No.
I'm thinking about it. Give me a second. I'm taking a look at these other guys over here. No,
Don't cheat.
no, he's not
Crotch
worth $3
Ripper,
million.
Dusty gets $2 million. Wow, yeah, that's right.
Dusty
$2
Rhodes.
million.
Dusty Rhodes.
Straight from the grave.
Let me tell you something. Dusty Rhodes passed away is worth $20 million compared to these clowns. Anyway, next.
Kenny
What-
Omega, the champion, the belt collector, $3 million a year.
Yeah, I'll pay him that. Yep, I'll pay Kenny million. Yes, Kenny Omega is. Dude.
Chris Jericho, $3 million a
Oh,
year.
he's underpaid. Don't even get me started.
Now that guy's worth his money.
He's underpaid.
He's worth every penny.
He's worth every millipenny.
And to top the list, everybody, Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, whatever you want to call that guy, $6 million
Joke.
a year.
That's a joke. That's a joke in so many different ways because you're going to tell me that John Moxley makes twice as much as Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho? In what universe? That's absolutely a joke. Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho only make as much as Cody Rhodes? Who is taking LSD when they're writing these checks to these guys? And someone's going to find out, you know what? This company, guys, if you look at this, we're in a world where Brandy Rhodes and Nyla Rose make $2 million each. Guys, you're looking at a WCW situation
Thank
somewhere
you.
down the road.
Thank
you are.
you.
I'm sorry.
Keep
So,
throwing
yes,
your money
they're-
out.
they're
God
getting
knows
their-
what he's paying Daniel
Right.
Bryanson and
CM Punk is going to get like 12 if he's getting 6.
All right, so
I mean,
quickly,
what are we
I put the
talking
women's.
here?
Arthur gave me the women's salary, but we couldn't get this year's salary.
Arthur
we couldn't
got the
find them.
women's salary?
Yeah, but you know what? This is a little bit old. So again, you got Sasha Banks at $250,000 a year. Now remember
What?
something. That doesn't include
No.
merchandising and everything else. Okay,
Dude, that's ridiculous.
Carmella, 260,000.
How the hell is
Nia
Carmella making
Jax,
more than-
280,000.
She's not worth
Natalia, 300,000.
Wow.
Bailey, 350,000.
This
Oscar,
is
350,000.
This is
Alexa
low.
Bliss, 350,000. The greatest women's wrestler in the history of wrestling.
Charlotte?
In my top 10 wrestlers
Charlotte.
of all time, 1.1. Ronda
1.1 million.
Rousey, 2.1.
Oh, this is a while back,
Right.
dude.
And
It's a
Becky
while
Lynch,
back.
3.1. Not that far back.
Yes, it is. Ronda's been gone for quite a while.
What's quite a while? 2 years?
That's years, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's gone for quite a while. You know what, though? Either
But
way,
that's how you
though-
make money.
Yeah, this is how you stay in business, folks. That's for shit sure.
Now,
you know.
here are salaries, and again, some of it's a little bit old. Braun Strowman, $2 million a year.
Well, he's with AEW now, so isn't he?
He is? No, he hasn't signed with them. I
Oh,
don't
so
think
what's he doing? Working at Walmart? Where's he been?
He doesn't need to. He made $2 million a year.
Oh, you better buy this lawnmower.
Stephanie McMahon, $2 million a year. I guess that's the Brandy Rhodes.
What a joke, man.
flyer.
How the hell can Brandy Rhodes be worth as much as Stephanie
Shane McMahon, 2.1.
Well, Shane jumps off things once a year for that money. Okay, that's is he worth it? I guess so. I don't think so, but I guess he's worth it.
Crotch Ripper says, "Did you win the wig that sold for $25?" No. I didn't.
Wait a minute, there was a raffle for the wig?
No, it was on Craigslist.
Oh, it was.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Goldberg, $3 million a year. Becky Lynch, 3.1. Triple H, 3.2. Again, remember, officers of the company. This
Right.
is as a wrestler. This
Right.
is not as an officer of the company.
Right. Seth Rollins, $4 million.
And by the way, if you want to see them, what they make as an officer of the company, since they're publicly traded, all that money is straight out there. You
Right.
can go see how much all these guys
Right.
make. Seth Rollins, 4. Got to tell you, I wish I was a kid in the Rollins Lynch family.
Boy, oh
Pulling in
boy.
$8 million a year, not including merchandising.
That baby's going to be taking bumps in a golden ring.
You ain't kidding,
Boy, oh boy.
And this is what we get up. We get upset for these people.
I'm not upset for any of them.
Exactly. You were getting
I guess
upset. for them?
that's what gets lost in all of this, you know. Wow, Vince McMahon, I love spending his money, dude. What are you kidding me? You know what we suffer through for? What are you kidding me?
Roman Reigns, $5 million. He's making less than Moxley.
That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Brock Lesnar, though, there you go, Brock, $11.8 million. Way to go, Brock. No wonder I love Brock Lesnar.
He's worth every penny.
He's worth every
penny.
penny. By the way, I love his new look. Freaking Thor Lesnar.
Oh, freaking
Are
love
you
it.
kidding me?
Love it.
When is he coming back? Come back yesterday. You know? Let's have Brock back here yesterday.
You ain't kidding.
Brock's the best.
All right, guys, we want to talk about upcoming shows this Saturday.
We do?
Starting
Okay.
You didn't know?
I'm waiting.
this Saturday, July 31st at 8 p.m.
I got a beef with you on this.
Go ahead.
I got a beef with you on this.
Go ahead.
Marissa Jade.
Marissa Jade.
Okay, absolutely stunning.
Beautiful lady.
Stunning.
Beautiful lady.
It's one thing you forgot to tell me while I've been drooling, these last bunch of weeks. Mob wives?
Yes.
Why am I, ready to go hide somewhere?
You
Now
better-
I'm afraid to ask a single question. I'm not kidding. I'm afraid to ask a single question. I'm going to let you do all the talking. You could do all the flirting and winking. And I'll just
I'll be winking, all right.
slip out
Right behind these sunglasses. Winky, winky.
Well, that's true. They can't see that, can they?
No, they can't.
So we can kind of get away with a little bit of
I
flirting.
think so. And don't forget
I'm
about your pal,
nervous.
Joe Gertner will be here.
Well. I love Joel.
Are you a big Joe Gertner fan?
Actually, I can never forget some of his promos. He cracked me up back in the day.
What is your favorite thing about Joe Gertner?
Well, I liked the fact that he was pretty much creepy. Believe it or not, he would wear he was the hairiest dude, and he would wear a scarf, and he would say some pretty outrageous stuff because after all, he has the pelvis that killed Elvis.
you.
I thought he was a pretty funny guy. I really did.
August 5th, that's next Thursday. We love everybody to join us. We have Mustafa
Amazing.
and Super Crazy in-house.
Amazing. I still don't know my
With
Spanish
with
at
a
all.
delayed tribute to pro wrestling icon
New Jack.
New Jack.
Yep. Mustafa was an excellent guest. Man, Bro, can I be honest? And I want, sorry guys at home, this might seem a little personal, but I don't know how I'm going to be when I see Mustafa because I really, really love New Jack, and New Jack was good to us.
You do love New Jack.
I do, and New Jack was good to us, and he was always cool with us, and I was really, really, really taken aback when he passed away. I don't know what made me think he would live to be 80-something, or I just never thought he would go so soon, and it was just such a shock. And when I see Mustafa, I almost feel like saying to him, I'll never meet New Jack's family, and I didn't know him personally like a real friend would. But can I just tell you how much it hurts? Because Mustafa was, the closest I'm going to get to New Jack's close people, if that makes any sense. And it just really, really sucks that he passed away. And Mustafa, I'm sure, will shed some awesome stories of New Jack for us. And, of course, we have Super Crazy, and you're going to have to teach me some Spanish because I'm in trouble. I got to learn some Spanish. I'm kind of nervous about that. I love Super Crazy.
And then on August 12th, I'm very, very excited as we have the First Lady of Wrestling in-house.
Wow.
Miss Missy Hyatt. I will be wearing a tux, everybody.
She got the most mesmerizing eyes you've ever seen, just by the way. Just figured I would throw that in.
She meant a lot to wrestling, too, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, is this the one that's going to actually cause you to wear a suit? Is that really going to happen, or are you just messing
No, I'm
around?
wearing a suit.
You're going to wear a suit? You're going to make me look like shit, you realize?
I'm not going to try.
I mean, what am I? You know what? I should go totally opposite. I'm gonna.
You could wear like holes in your sneakers.
Like wear cut off and stuff like that. Ripped jeans and stuff. Yeah, that might work. Why not?
And then I think it's September 17th.
We
want to thank. It's a special thanks
Pharaoh
to our
Day.
channel members.
Yeah.
Where we have a 90-minute interview with WWE Hall of Famer Rob Van Dam. We want to allow everybody to ask their questions to Rob and kind of get that close one-on-one feel with this ECW legend.
Yep. You know how this goes for me. Rob Van Dam is probably in my top 5 all-time favorites, and I'm going to lose my mind.
So we decided to make a day of it, and from 10:30 on September 17th to about 12:45, we have WWE Hall of Famer Abdullah the Butcher in studio.
Could have sworn I talked to you about Abby.
Yes, you did.
All right, and here he comes.
Pharaoh didn't want Abby in studio.
Oh,
DC
man.
Drake and Damian Kane,
He hurts
ECW
people.
Originals also will be joining us. So
Yeah, there we go.
It's going to be, and
There
we
we
may
go.
be adding some more people
go.
to this list. It just might be
What,
just
that
a day
whole
of
day?
interview.
What are we going to just, start at 4 in the morning?
Matt
bring some
Matt
uppers,
said to
Matt.
me, he
You're
goes,
gonna be up all
please
night."
bring me as many wrestlers as you can.
Is that what Matt
I
said?
cannot wait.
Absolutely.
Just bring them all. Bring them in.
Bring 'em
Just
in.
bring them all in.
Bring him in.
Wait a minute. Can we take them to that private beach in Boston, Matt? And maybe listen to shitty podcasts or something?
And we got to change that tag ad. That tag ad, one of our sponsors. We want to change that ad. So remind me, Matt. Don't mean to talk about.
Oh,
that.
wait a minute. Did you? We got to re-sign the cable deal. You told me to remind you. Did we do it yet?
No, I didn't.
Way to go there.
There goes our 80,000 our fans. Well, that's great. Contract cancel.
Don't worry, we'll still be there, folks. We'll still be
And
there.
as I mentioned earlier, just signed. There will be a banner put up on August 14th at 5 p.m.
Who?
Mr. USA Tony Atlas
yeah.
is in house.
Awesome.
Todd Belt Beecraft, how much does Roman Reigns make? $5 million a year, less than John Moxley,
That's a joke.
and probably going to be less than CM Punk too.
Wow. They're not acknowledging him.
Crotch Ripper. Before we go, asking a question.
I love that tag, by
What-
the way. Crotch Ripper? That's
What
awesome.
started the beef with your friend in Boston? Pharaoh, you can answer that, buddy.
Oh, my God. I get to answer this? All right.
Absolutely.
Well, once upon a time, and here's my disclaimer. I mind my own business, man. I don't even get involved in half the things that, thankfully, Mike is involved in the internet world. I am not. But, well, it all started with Marty was on this Boston show, and he mentioned us. Wasn't that the point of origin?
I did not see the video, but a couple of people out
we were
there
written to
wrote
by
me and
some
said,
of
hey,
some of the folks who watch us. Right.
Marty was talking about you on the show.
Right. So that called attention to the whole thing. Okay. And then what was, you're going to have to help me a little
I
bit on the
reached out to that show,
Right.
and I said, hey, can I see you took the video down. Can I see
You
it?
wanted to take a look
Because
to
we
see what
wanted
Marty
to-
said.
well, we wanted to
We have
also
history
just-
with Marty.
we
folks,
heard
for
it was-
you new folks out
Right,
there.
so we did have problems with Marty.
Well, we've had quite the
right?
history with Marty. We love him,
Which
but
we
we've
get
had quite
along very well with him,
Yeah,
too.
Marty's cool.
I wanted to see the video so we could talk about it on Thursday's show.
Right,
That's
right,
all.
right.
Not show it, right?
Right.
In fact, I really didn't pay much
Right.
attention to that guy.
Right, and
No,
again,
go
this
ahead.
is all coming to me. I'm hearing it through Mike.
Oh
Go
man!
on.
By the way, now you're no longer welcome to Kaloons. That's a Chinese food he brings all the wrestlers to. That gives them the runs at night.
What the hell do I care if I'm not welcome to buffoons?
All
I
the
don't give a
wrestlers that
shit.
go on there, they
know?
they call me. They go, he keeps taking me to this place, and I get the runs.
I heard their motto is come to buffoons. We'll make your ass run faster than your feet. What?
So anyway, go ahead.
What? What do you mean? Go
802
ahead.
says they're closing.
That's great.
Guess they can't serve any more dog.
Oh man. Well, wait a minute. What about their favorite dish, Dick Hung Low? Everybody loves that one.
Cream of song, young boy.
Would you leave them out of this? They've got nothing
Go
to do
ahead.
with this.
So
What do you mean? Go ahead.
So the whole thing with Marty, he doesn't do the picture.
Right. You asked for the video. Blah, 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 blah,
So Marty and I speak.
Right.
Not,
Right.
but I get to say fairly often,
Hey, I know you talk to Marty.
right? And he
Marty's
goes,
been asking to talk to me, but as usual, I'm too busy
in Pharaoh land.
being in my own universe. But go on.
802 says, I think it's Red Rose Chinese now. Oh, that's good. Just keep changing your name. Sooner or later, they can't catch up on how many people you're giving
Poisoning.
every day. Anyway, Marty goes, did you see what happened on Boston Wrestling? Dan's show. I'm like,
Right.
I'm like, who's Dan?
Right.
He's
This
Boston
is
Wrestling.
this
So I'm
is
like,
Marty
okay.
bringing it up to you.
And he's like, oh, let's talk about it on your show.
Like
so
we were,
guess
like,
what?
looking
We
for
had
this
him on the
shit.
show. Marty spoke about it. We had Tony on the show before that, everybody.
Right.
So you know, Tony had called me complaining about that show. I said, come on
Right.
here, talk about it.
Right.
And it was a pretty benign conversation. Tony really didn't have much to say.
Oh,
So
had much to drink.
anyway, long story.
Gotta
I
laugh.
decided to make a
Funny.
video of just the bullet points that Marty was saying.
Correct.
And Big
Correct.
Fat Whale got upset
Big fat
over
whale.
what we put together.
Oh my God.
And then we had a cable version. So people don't know this, and I'm going to make this clear. So, because we're all about transparency. We have a cable show, so we make cable versions of this show.
Right.
Pharaoh.
It's condensed,
recuts it,
abbreviated, but
right?
it's
and
the
he,
highlights.
And he gets
from the
highlights,
show.
and it's
sure.
and it's got to be TV ready. So
Yeah,
you
and it
can't
flies
curse,
right
you
by,
can't do
too.
any
It's
of
a
that
great
stuff.
30 minutes.
Anyway,
Yeah, go on.
Long story short,
Yeah.
I also share those shows because we're very proud of it. We're pretty proud of how
Absolutely.
well we're doing on New York cable.
Boy, they're loving us too. And we
Well,
love
someone
them. Yep.
reported us for stealing video content, and
I didn't know you could
we are
type
now in a
underwater.
legal battle over. We're in an act, which is shocking enough. It's just shocking. Did you know this, Matt? We're in a legal battle over this cable video.
I had no idea.
It's utterly ridiculous
What
that
a
I have to waste my
loser.
time. Oh, and again, like,
Whiny
there's
bitch.
nothing on that video that belonged to anybody but
Oh my God.
Original video.
our own video.
So petty, bro. Oh, it's so petty.
Anyway, Crotch
Break.
Ripper says, to be honest, Marty was rude and wrong on that show. I don't
That's
know,
cool.
dude. We didn't
Hey,
see it. I
that's-
didn't see it. I don't know
that's
what he
cool.
did. All we did
That's
was let
cool.
Marty speak his piece.
All I know is we were minding our own business, and the next thing you know, Marty's calling us, telling us about it, and okay, come on, talk about it. What do you want, man?
Again,
I wasn't looking for shit.
To tell the truth, man,
know?
I don't know this guy.
I
up
don't
in
know him
Boston.
either.
All I know is what guys tell me about
Right,
him.
right.
And,
I
you
know
know-
he threw the first F-bombs. We weren't throwing F-bombs.
Right.
I know he made it. He started talking crap. We didn't talk crap. So it's like, okay, you want to talk crap? Now we'll show you how to talk crap.
Right.
Because you clearly don't know how to talk crap. You think you can out-talk a guy from New York? You got to be fucking kidding me. Anyway,
The point is, he doesn't really matter. There's not a lot of heat.
Oh, go park your car.
Go park your car.
I might as well have some fun with that.
Anyway, want to thank you all.
And I still
Please
love
join
Boston.
us this Saturday,
I love
8 to
Boston.
10. We're going to have so much fun. Date night with Monte and the Pharaoh. Then again, Thursday, Mustafa and Super Crazy. And then Missy Hyatt. We got Rob Van Dam. And in between that, we might sprinkle a little Sabu in there.
What?
Which will be fun.
What?
Crotch Ripper says, I offered you to see the video. Sir, I totally get it. At this point, what could have been said on the video that we don't already know? It's like, I'm not going to show it, all right, because it's not my right. I don't own that.
Right. Yeah.
Crotch Ripper says, once he lost Marty, he lost his show. From what I understand, Marty's going back on the show, which is good.
Wait a minute.
I want Marty to make
Why
money.
should someone show hinge on Marty anyway? What the hell?
Exactly.
Stand on your freaking
Anyway,
own.
we're running long. I want to thank you all again for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
And I will
Thank
tell
you.
you this, with everything aside, we are humbled.
Absolutely.
We are humbled. And we enjoy every second we get to spend with you.
No doubt.
You know, life
No
is
doubt.
hard for everybody.
Yeah, it is.
No matter what we're all going through. But the one good thing is we could all count on each other. You guys say such funny stuff that the last show with the interview with
Oh my God!
I couldn't stop
Some of those
laughing at your comments.
comments,
You couldn't even put me on camera. I
absolutely.
couldn't stop laughing.
Guys,
So I
try
want
to
to
have fun
personally
out
say
there.
thank
Absolutely.
you. You've been watching Long Island's #1 pro wrestling show. I'm honored to have this guy right next to me because there's a lot of smarky wrestling experts out there. This guy, I'm sorry. Not only is he smart, he's entertaining. Pharaoh?
Thank you. You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh, and until next time, be good. Later.